everybody, welcome to Rental Revolution Academy. So, you just got your first clarinet. What now? Okay, so congratulations on obtaining your very first clarinet. One of the things you want to remember is first and foremost that when you have your instrument, that it's in the case if it's not being used. You also want to make sure that when you go to get your instrument that you have it on a sturdy surface. So you've opened the case and here's your instrument in all its glory shining at you. As you'll notice, your clarinet comes in several pieces. You'll probably have a mouthpiece, which will be the top of the instrument. That will be connected to a piece called the barrel. They will vary in size and in length, and sometimes even in shape. Mine looks a little weird, yours won't look this strange. It's okay. And so you'll insert the cork of your mouthpiece into what will be the top portion of the barrel, like so. The barrel will then connect to what is called the upper joint. Between the upper and lower joint, right now they may look very similar. Just know that the upper joint is shorter than the lower joint, if all else fails. And so you'll connect the cork of the upper joint to the barrel, like so. Now that you have these pieces together, the next portion to assemble is the lower joint. Carefully remove it from the case. Insert the cork as such. Now, one thing to note about assembling the upper joint and the lower joint, once they're together, is ensuring that there's proper alignment. This is very important because one, it could be backwards, and that'd be silly. Two, because there are certain keys that do need to be aligned for it to function properly. One way to make sure that it's properly aligned is to make sure that all of these keys make a perfectly straight line, all of the holes. That's one way to ensure. But even then, it could be slightly askew. Another very important piece to look for are these bridge keys underneath these forearm keys up here. Underneath, these two keys need to properly align because they work together connecting the upper and lower joint. So if you can ensure that they are properly aligned, most likely these will also be properly aligned. And lastly, the bottom of the instrument is the bell, called so because it's shaped like a bell. And you will connect that to the cork of the lower joint. Again, they should all go together very easily, just shown here. If they don't go together very easily, then you may need to use some cork grease. This is a lubricant that you put on the cork to help ease the maneuvering of the joints and their connectivity. You also want to be very careful as you assemble the instrument. Where you place your hands is important so that you avoid bending any keys. I'm a lefty, so this kind of comes naturally to me. If you're right-handed, you just want to be sure that where you grab the lower joint especially is inside these four keys here so that you don't bend them inadvertently. So putting together or taking apart, if there's enough cork grease, it should work very easily. And notice my grip is inside the four keys so as to not bend any keys. On the upper joint as well, notice how I'm grabbing over the keys so as to not bend any by accident. And there you have it, your clarinet is all together. Now you may notice that on my mouthpiece, it's just the mouthpiece and there's nothing else there. You may also notice that during the assembly portion of this video, this thing has been in my mouth. Why is that? This is your reed. The reason I kept this in my mouth while I assembled my instrument is because one, my reed is safely in my mouth and not lying somewhere where it could fall or take a crack. It's very important that you're very careful with your reeds. They're very delicate, and if broken, could cause for a very bad rehearsal. You also want to make sure that you're moistening the reed. You should not play on a dry reed as it will produce adverse effects to your sound and articulation. So now that I've assembled my instrument with my reed in my mouth, it's now already wet and ready to go. So you now want to figure out how to put the reed on the mouthpiece properly. As you can see, the reed has a particular shape. There's a curve at what we call the tip. You'll also notice that on the mouthpiece, there's a similar curve at its tip. Basically, you want to try to align the curve of each together. Always moving very carefully. Again, the reed is very delicate. You don't want to break it or chip it. So I've aligned my reed and my mouthpiece fairly well. And now it is time to place the ligature on. The ligature is the piece that holds the reed to the mouthpiece securely. You'll simply slide the ligature over the mouthpiece and over the reed. And on your mouthpiece, there may be a variety of lines or markings that indicate ligature placement. There may be no markings at all. The main idea is that you want to place the ligature in a position where it will not inhibit the reed from vibrating. Hence, if it's too high, the ligature probably won't fit. If it's too low, then this top portion of the reed could be a little wobbly, and when you play and move your mouth around, it could cause the reed to move, at which point you probably won't get any sound. So somewhere in the middle is a good starting point. It has these screws, usually on most ligatures, that you'll tighten to secure the ligature to the reed and hold everything properly. Take a note that you don't have to fasten the screws super tight. Just enough turns to where it feels like the screws are holding everything nice and in place. And there you have it. The reed is secure to the mouthpiece, and your instrument is assembled, and you're ready to go. Lastly, with your mouthpiece, there might be something that looks similar to this, which is called the mouthpiece cap. This is an important tool because you always want to keep your reed and mouthpiece covered, so that in the event it does take a fall, one of the things that won't get injured is your reed or your mouthpiece. Very expensive pieces of equipment to replace, and if you've got a good reed, you just want to secure it and make sure that it lasts. Well, hey, thanks everyone for watching our video. Good luck to you, and now back to practicing.